what's good, y'all? It's D.
And it's A.
And it's Lay right over there, y'all. We back with another video. Today, what we doing today, man?
We're doing a mukbang, and we're going to be talking about the truth. We're going to be talking about the truth about our relationship that nobody knows. The truth.
Dun, dun, dun. This is the nobody wants to talk about it, you know? Nobody wants to air it out on social media, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, D's already eating. Crazy.
Y'all know, hey, you know what's crazy though, man? This was our first video, y'all, that we did.
Ever on YouTube, a mukbang.
So if you go look at our oldest video, it is this. And I got like the same seafood boil that I had.
I don't have the same things, but I had KFC and my uncle's restaurant, food from his restaurant. Dang, this is getting cold. That's how you know, like, cold. Anyways.
But yeah, no, that's crazy though. It's the same, like the same.
Right.
What you eating though?
Okay, so I got these buldak spicy chicken flavored ramen, the stir fry kind, right here. And I got some, sorry, babe. The Dave's hot chicken. I got it in medium. Usually I like it spicy, but I want to actually enjoy it and taste like the flavor.
Yeah, the last time you got the what?
I got the Reaper, the hottest one, and
she folded, y'all.
Yeah, you can't even taste the flavor.
She was like, I can't do this.
It was just hot. And I got some cheese fries, pickles, and yeah. And I got me a little slush, just kind of melted a little bit. I also got from H Mart their little peach.
How much was everything all together right there you got?
tea.
How much was all that?
What do you mean?
Like how much was all that?
This is like $20, and those noodles for like the whole pack was like $8. Big pack of like 4 or 5. And then this drink right here is like about $1.50, and the ice cup is another $1.50. So
I got me a seafood boil, y'all. It was like $37. I got the pound shrimp and the half pound snow crab legs, and I got it comes with 3 potatoes and 1 corn. So that's what I'm eating.
So let's dig in before we even get to talking. I'm hungry. Okay.
Alright, I don't know what to tell you, man.
I've been seeing mukbangers, like, okay, the noodles are a little, sorry.
It be looking good when we eat, y'all. Does it make y'all want some food? I be feeling like a commercial, you know?
We're so cramped right now. I'm with these flowers too. I've been seeing mukbangers, mukbang bangers, whatever. Like, put the noodles on the chicken. Oh my god, that'd be looking good.
But you never had it before? Is it? It is good? That shit was good as hell? For real?
I got the quattro cheese, so.
I'm not gonna lie, when Aisha eat, y'all, she make food sound good. I don't know what it is, it'd be whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. That should be sounding good for real. Even if it's something I don't like, she make it sound good.
That is good as hell.
I see some people eat seafood with noodles with seafood. I can't do that. I like my seafood plain.
Deon's like a very plain person in general. He likes things by itself.
Now, we don't mean not seasoned. I love my food seasoned. I'm just talking about like if someone was like, would you rather have just like shrimp or like shrimp Alfredo? I would just pick shrimp. You know what I'm saying? Nah, just give me the shrimp. Give me some hot sauce, some butter. I'll be cool.
I'm sad there's only 3 tenders. I mean 2 tenders.
So let's get into what y'all want to hear, okay?
So, who's starting? Me or you? Start.
You start, so I can bounce off what you say.
So, you know, everyone heals, or I would hope you do some healing and work on yourself before you get into a relationship, you know?
Correct.
But, so when me and DeAndre first got together, you know, I had already started, like, my healing journey for about a year or 2. And so, I feel like it was, like, I was still at the peak of it.
Look at Lay, I'm sorry.
And, so when I met him, we weren't looking, like, we were open to a relationship, but we weren't, like, actively searching, as we have told y'all before. And so things just, like, we really hit it off, and I think because we weren't expecting it, that's why things went so well. So anyhow, fast forward some months into the relationship, we did move in together really fast. And I think that, like, really accelerated a lot of things, you know?
It did, because we really rushed it.
We did, because we just connected so well. But anyhow, you can do all the healing you want, but I know one thing I know for sure is God will test your healing, especially through your partner. You know what I mean? Because they are someone who can mirror like what work you have done and what you still need to work on. You know?
That's
and
true.
So
She dropped a tablet, babe.
something that I didn't realize in the moment that I was bringing into the relationship that we do unconsciously, subconsciously. We don't realize we're doing it because we forget that we can be triggered by each other, you know? I was bringing in like trust issues, even though he wasn't giving me reasons to not trust him. And so of course that brought in a lot of friction in our relationship because I have grown up with abandonment issues. That's why these trust issues came about, and I struggled a lot with like heavy self-blame, like when things went wrong. Like I always felt like things were bound to go wrong because of me, you know. And so whenever we would get into a tiff, I would think like, oh, this is something else I'm ruining. I would kind of spiral a little bit, and I was going through it opened more doors to what mental health things I had too, because I was like starting to see therapists, but I had just came back from college when we got together, so I didn't have one established at home yet. And so yeah, I had a lot. It was like another page of things that I realized I needed to work on that he helped me realize. And I'm grateful, like, you know, in the moment it sucked because it really tested us and put us through highs and lows, but honestly it just added to the growth and the woman I'm becoming that I am right now. I'm gonna eat a little bit, I'm hungry.
There's been times where it's like, I don't know, a lot of that happened when I just kind of got out of college.
Most of us.
Right, so I was kind of still like kicking it with my college friends, even when we lived together, so I kind of, you know, and her having, you know, the trust issues didn't really mix very well, especially with me just getting out of college and still going to hang out with my friends about an hour away.
And I can admit, I do have, like, I can be a little jealous, you know. I've grown and worked on myself a lot, because that all, like, points back to your own insecurities, you know. I have worked on myself a lot to where I have it more under control and stuff, where I can kind of defeat the negative self-talk in my head, but that also played a little bit of a part, whether it was just how much time he spent with his friends too.
She's most definitely come a long way, but you know, a lot of things come with that ups and downs, and you know, I think we both asked each other before we even got together, are we ready for this? You know, both of us said yeah, and then I feel like when we was in it, we realized that we still had a lot to work on, you know? And I feel like neither one of us kind of kind of understood that, because we both expected certain things when we got into the relationship. And with her having trust issues and her telling me she was okay and healed, you know, I just automatically assumed.
But the thing with that
she was, you know, and I should have took the accountability to understand that that's not always the case, because I don't know what she went through before she got with me. You know what I'm saying? Even though she might be healed, she still might have a little bit of trust issues, and that's okay. You know what I'm saying?
But the thing is, no one's ever going to be like 100% healed. Let's be real. No matter how much work you do on yourself, how many years you've done, there's going to be things that you still got to heal. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's something people have wrong. It's normal. It's okay for you to have things to heal, you know? But as long as you can control certain things, you know, or have under control. But like I said, you can go and individually heal as much as you want, and that'd be great. But let God bring somebody into your life. You're going to see what things you need to heal with that person.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it's easy to heal by yourself. But let other people come and trigger you. Whether it's a friend, a partner, a coworker, they're gonna trigger some shit, you know? That's where the real test comes in.
Y'all can't give up, man. We've been fighting and staying strong for like a little while, you know. We've came close, we ain't gonna lie to y'all. We've came close to, you know, breaking up.
No, let's be real. We broke up. We broke up like when he started his travel job. We ended things.
And we didn't even start YouTube at that time, did we?
Not yet, until you came back.
So we didn't even have YouTube. Okay, yeah. So we broke up during that time. And I was like, I feel like Aisha took a lot of that time and really did.
Sorry, y'all. Lay hit the camera.
I feel like Aisha took a lot of that time, y'all, and like actually put forth and working on herself. Yeah? She's like, good job, man. Took a lot of that time to work on herself, and then, you know, obviously we ended up talking and, you know, working things out, but
Reconnecting.
I mean, you just never know. If y'all are willing to put in the work and put y'all differences aside and both understand each other and know that everything is not going to be perfect no matter what, then I feel like the more y'all will flourish, you know?
You gotta go through those highs and lows together. Like, when you overcome it together, that's what makes you stronger, you know? But
that's facts.
What things do you think that you had realized about yourself when, whether it's how you handle emotions or things that you have to still work on or heal? Like,
I feel like me hiding my feelings and the way I express myself can be very like selfish, but I don't realize it in the moment.
Wait, how you do what?
How I hide my feelings and like my emotions and I don't express myself can be selfish in the moment because that person may want to know. But like, I'm also not looking at it as in being selfish. I'm looking at it as in trying to like save them my, you know, like my, you know, make somebody feel sorry for me. I don't want that. You know what I'm trying to say? Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that too. I feel like, and that's what DeAndre. So me, I've always had like an anxious attachment style. That's what.
Hey, you want to bite real quick?
No.
You said you would.
But baby, you should have, because like I'm about to have this. Mine food's about to last.
You said you would take a bite though.
But baby, no, I actually don't. But anywho, so you know, we all have attachment styles, and that's all based on how we were raised and if our needs were met as kids. And I realized I had an anxious attachment style, and he has an avoidant. So when things get, yeah. So when we bump heads, he tends to want to go into his shell. He wants to go into his shell and
be left alone.
Be left alone, doesn't want to talk about nothing, doesn't want to deal with the issue or address it. Me, I need to address it right then and there. You know what I mean? Like, we need to talk about it right now.
And then after I'm cooled down, I still don't want to talk about it. Mm-hmm. It's a toxic trait. I ain't gonna lie.
I appreciate you for being able to acknowledge that, because I acknowledge that on my end. Literally, like, it can make me feel like I'm hovering over him, which he has felt like that, you know? Not my intention, but I've learned that he's not gonna abandon me. He still loves me, you know? He just needs some time to cool down, which I do too. Realistically, let's realize that. And we can talk about it. But like you said, it becomes a reoccurring issue like it has in the past if we don't ever get to talk about it, you know? And like I said, I appreciate him for saying that, because it takes, if you are self-aware like that, that's where growth can happen.
That shit good?
Mm-hmm.
You like it better with the chicken or no?
Perfect mixture.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You try a little bit?
Absolutely not. I'm okay.
Really? Perfect mixture.
Oh, yeah? Hey, do y'all like seafood? Let me know. I feel like a lot of females don't like seafood.
Really? I feel like I know more people that do than don't.
I don't. I met a handful that like it, but majority, not even a handful, for real. Yeah.
Yeah, baby. I wonder if Leigh will like it.
Seafood?
Mm-hmm.
I hope she does. So we can go on like little daddy-daughter seafood dates, you know?
And mommy, I can get some, yeah, you can go daddy-daughter stuff would be cute too, though.
You can come to her. Sometimes, but sometimes me and her.
Mm-hmm.
If she likes it, she probably won't. Because if she already taken after Aisha fucking 90% already. So if that's the case, probably not.
She's like, what y'all eating? Should we give her this little fry?
Mm-hmm. Shit is so cold.
Is it?
Hell yeah.
You should have warmed it up a little bit. Yeah, were you like in the oven or something? In the oven?
That should probably still taste weird. I don't think I've ever had baked seafood before.
But yeah, so we did have that breakup period. I felt like, you know, I had gone through a lot of healing before meeting him, but that opened up a whole other door of what more I needed to heal, and it was hard. It was so hard, especially having an anxious attachment style, you know? Always needing that security and reassurance and stuff, and him... How would you describe how you... to me, it came off dismissive, you know?
Yeah.
It was hard.
I was always like, why are you acting like that? I never giving you a reason, but that's kind of like me being selfish, not thinking about what she's already been through and why she thinks like that from the jump, you know?
It's not me trying to be like that, just be toxic, you know? Like, it stems from somewhere. And I feel like through my healing, I learned more about his avoidant attachment style, which allowed me to give him grace, but you can only give people, even if you give people grace, you can only give them so much grace, you know, until they make changes. I feel like he was making little changes. But this is, truthfully for me and DeAndre, we both grew up in, like, to be honest, pretty traumatic childhoods. So we were like our own examples, you know? We didn't have healthy men or women examples to kind of guide us through our emotions, our thoughts, how we...
We just both knew what we didn't want. And that was, you know, a toxic household.
This just goes to peach iced tea.
Is it good?
But like what we both knew, yeah, what we didn't want, but we didn't realize how much God wanted us to grow together to be sure we didn't have that.
Right.
And it was a lot of bumpy heads, a lot.
It was.
But we always gravitated back to each other.
I know that's right.
Really? Did you drink your coffee?
Man, I don't want coffee and seafood.
Oh. So yeah, fast forward, through that breakup, we would talk here and there. I was so locked into myself. Like, I was in a big season of solitude where I kind of pushed like everyone away, like to kind of protect them and also know that I wasn't in the space for them to be around them or interact with them, because I knew God's purpose for me at that time. And so yeah, I was just in my own little bubble, really going through it, but there's also beautiful transformation and growth that came from it. And about February, so we would talk here and there, but not consistently. Around January and February, we really reconnected. I was low-key disconnecting emotionally because I didn't know. I started to think like, knowing my attachment style and me trying to be in a secure attachment or try to get into that, I needed to let go of things that kept my mind going. I'm an overthinker naturally, and he used to make me overthink, and so I started to really pour my energy into myself, and then DeAndre started to come around more again.
Got stuff on my face, y'all.
This is so good. She threw her dang fry. But yeah, he came back around. We had some hard conversations, honestly, when we first reconnected, right? You remember?
Mountain Dew sponsor me, baby. You remember all that?
You remember our hard conversations?
I mean, some.
Yeah, we had some hard conversations. I'd worked through my trust issues, but like, who knows what happened throughout the year. And I just want to be sure that, because we both had healing. I know we both had healing. I know I showed what I needed to heal more than he did.
I'm not gonna lie. I feel like in that whole situation, though, you healed more than me, but everybody has their own.
No, yeah. No,
I know you're not. I'm just saying. I'm telling them that. Like, that's a fact. Like, that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that she's healed more than me, and she really took that time and, like, applied pressure to it and didn't just use it and take it just, for fun. You know what I'm saying? Like, she really used that time to actually work on herself and grow as a person, right? And, but also everybody does have their own pace and, and how they do it. So don't ever try to compare yourself to somebody else, Right. Don't do that.
And that was also an issue I kind of had through my healing. Like, damn, I'm doing all this healing. Like, is he not, And it just takes time. Like, everyone's timing looks different.
You just can't be worried about other people when you do that type of thing, because it's going to throw you off. It's going to do all unbalance with your what
you got going on.
And all that. You know what I'm saying? So y'all just use it wisely. You know what I'm saying? Focus on yourself and take that time to grow as a person.
Yep. We got back together, started YouTube, and yeah, we got back together. Things were better, but we got more roadblocks. There was more things that came, like relearning new things about each other, learning new things. It was an adjustment again.
It was. I don't know. YouTube is, and then it got to a point where we were bumping heads again, and we couldn't do YouTube because we wasn't really getting along like that. So we had to take a break from that, and then I don't know. It was kind of like a little cycle there for a minute, you know. And then I don't know, like this past year and some change, like it hasn't been like that. It's just now we got a baby, so it's like some stuff might happen where we got to take like maybe 10 days off YouTube and we won't upload for 10 days, and then maybe there's some, what I'm saying? Like right now we've been consistent uploading, every other 3 days or whatnot, and we've been doing good, and we plan to keep that pace.
Yeah.
I think this video is gonna be like a day late. That's it. But other than that, like we plan on keeping the same pace. We got videos, ideas coming, and we're trying to just unload them to y'all, and I feel like now we're trying to take it more serious than ever. You know what I'm saying?
Because like we're trying to take YouTube serious, but also realistically, we are humans. You know what I mean? And like I said, we are our only example of how to have a healthy dynamic.
Yep.
And so there are times where we get annoyed with each other, and we need to take a step back and figure out how to get back into that healthy place. You know what I mean? Because we're not going to fake it on camera. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so sometimes we just got to be real with ourselves and trust that y'all will understand, and this is a passion of ours. We will always get back to it, but I feel like we're starting to get better at learning how to healthily communicate with each other. And I feel like with a lot of couples, you know, when you learn each other's attachment style or listen to understand with each other, like try to understand how we communicate, you're able to figure out how to communicate together better, you know what I mean? Rather than always blaming each other or who's right, who's wrong, competition type shit, you know? I feel like we've come a long way, you know?
Not for real.
And honestly, I wouldn't want to have gone through the tiffs, the ups and downs with anyone else, because I do feel like he has pushed me. Even through our hardest moments, it has pushed me to become the woman, partner, mother that like I want to be. You know what I mean?
Thanks. It's deep.
Yeah. So that is the truth about our relationship.
We decided to get a little deep with y'all because y'all deserve it. You know what I'm saying? So.
The last thing I will say is through parenthood and YouTube. You know what I mean? That's a whole other
game?
Yeah, like a whole other level of like healing and learning how to heal and grow together. You know what I mean? This is new to us and we want to be better parents than what we've seen.
Right.
For our kids, for Lay and our future kids. And so yeah, this is where we're at. I feel like we're doing a damn good job, honestly, for what we have and what we got.
Amen.
And yeah, I'm just grateful to God and excited for what the future looks like.
So we appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for, you know, listening, taking the time. If y'all want to get some food, get you some food. If y'all want to do some growing, do some growing. You know, do what you got to do.
If you were to do a mukbang, what would your
choice of food be?
Yeah, what would you have in front of you?
What would you eat? Would you eat tacos? Would you eat seafood? Would you eat
chicken?
Chicken.
But yeah, like you said, do some healing, do some growing, or do some eating, or do all of it.
Until then, y'all.
And don't forget, be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, hit that post notification bell so you stay updated every single time we upload a new video. And now we out. Peace.